Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pharmaceutical Soccer. I am so happy to be here with you. I'm sure we all are. Normally, we're here to talk about Nashville Soccer Club, and we still might talk about Nashville Soccer Club in superlative, but probably not. We are here for the Pharmaceutical World Cup preview show. Yay! Yay!
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Clay
This
Train and Valer
excitement for the World
Shavilla
Cup
not
is
as
being felt
excited as I
across the
am.
country.
You know what I love when both of you talk at the same time and people can't hear what either of you are saying?
I got nothing for that. Anyways, Valer, since you're kind of here talking about it, how was your weekend before we start talking about World Cup stuff?
It's good, man. I have been diagnosed, and it's been weighing on me to not share it with everybody, but I officially do have World Cup fever. And
That makes one of like 10, it feels like.
I understand the negatives and everything that's going on with this tournament, and I understand all the bad things that are happening. And it's not that I don't care. I just want to be very clear. I do care. But also, the Iraqi national team is playing a friendly in Chicago, followed by 3 World Cup games in Philadelphia, Boston, and Toronto. Well, Foxborough and Toronto. And that's all happening in the next 2 weeks of my life. And those are sentences that I very much love. So I will keep that in mind when the negative stuff happens. And I think, it happens with every World Cup. 2022, the first ball was kicked. And not that what happened in Qatar doesn't matter. It's just how it goes. Russia 2018, I remember how much stuff was going on there. Brazil 2014, by the way, and South Africa 2010. All of those had problems and issues and safety concerns and blah, blah, blah concerns. And then when that first ball kicked and 10 years later, 20 years later, what we remember is not any of those. I'm not saying there are no problems. I'm not saying we should ignore the problems. I'm very happy with some of the journalistic work some people are doing. But I have World Cup fever, and I'm excited for the World Cup, and I don't care what others think.
This is a man that now roots for a team without a starting striker and a team photographer.
Why don't we have a starting striker?
That was the joke that they all got held up at the Chicago airport.
He did. He got held up, but he's there. The photographer, he's not there. But, I know a lot of photographers. I know a lot of photographers, baby. You just hit me up. Iraqi FA, where you at?
Well, I would prefer that the team photographer be the one doing photography for the team, personally. But
I will say this, though. I think every single player is in now. There was a little issue with the Swiss player as well. But I think that seems to be more of a formality more than anything. But as far as my weekend goes, I spend most of it driving because I'm in Michigan here today, and I am visiting some family before the World Cup madness starts. So that's what I'm doing.
What about you, Clay?
I had like a pretty low key weekend. I don't think I left my house on Saturday till like 7 p.m. So played some Blood on the Clock Tower. That was fun. And did a lot of cooking. So that's all I did this weekend. I can't tell you how little. Considering what had happened the previous week, I was perfectly fine doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
nothing burned down. It was great.
I feel like yours is like a microcosm of kind of what has happened, but I feel like most people kind of took this weekend to chill just because of the fact that there's going to be a lot going on in the next couple weeks. Not even just with World Cup. I will be posted up at a bar somewhere on Thursday at 3 p.m. as my annual tradition states of me not doing anything and just sitting at a bar watching the World Cup. You have to be ready for this, right? So we all took the time to go. Yes.
For those in the central time zone, it will be at 2 p.m. But yeah.
Yes, sorry, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. I apologize. I was talking for two of the people on the show specifically.
This is the first time that none of us are going to be around each other during a World Cup since 2014, right?
Yep.
No, I mean, I'll be back. I'll be back in Nashville for the
Yeah,
knockout
but we
rounds
all
and stuff.
won't be together.
Yeah.
Back when Steven was running pastime.
Oh,
and just
yeah, because Steven is
getting
not in
stuff.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Back when I was
well-
the bartender at Pastime during the World
RIP
Cup match.
pastime.
Yo, yes.
Y'all,
Statute of limitations is passed on that, right?
there are 5 games on Sunday starting at like noon to midnight, and I don't think I can tolerate anyone for that long. So I'm low-key glad. Maybe I'll watch a game with y'all, but that's it.
Oh, man.
Wasn't
Me
there
and
one
Jerry
birthday that
Wojcicki,
you
friend of the show, opened up Franklin Abbey at 5 a.m. on one of the days to watch Australia, France on one of the early World Cup days in 2018.
I remember I was in Minnesota for one of them, and it was a very early. I think they were open at like 6 a.m. Where I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to get up for this specifically. But Valaire, didn't you have a birthday where you just were at Rosie's at 11 a.m. and then you were there until
Don't be airing
2
my
a.m.?
business to the people.
By the way, I just want to say,
we need to humanize you sometimes, Valaire. You're one of the people. You are a human that exists in this world. You ain't no celebrity. You're a human that does stupid things in this world.
I just want to say no free shout outs. The 2 bars I shouted out don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Look, we got to get into it because we're going to be spending a lot of time this episode talking about the World Cup. We're excited. I would say I have World Cup fever as well, Valaire. You're not the only one that is down with the sickness.
I will say, we do have to say is Ahmed Qasim is the only Nashville SC player at the World Cup, officially official. I know we've kind of said it the past 2 weeks, but now it's the official, we have the list. Ahmed Qasim is playing for Iraq. He'll be playing 3 games at least. He'll be on the bench or playing, or he'll be in the squad. And
Steven will absolutely be predicting him in the second segment for something because that is what Steven does, and we'll get to that after this.
We'll get to but I do want to say he played in both friendlies. There's one more friendly on Tuesday, so if you want to see, I don't know what channel he'll have it, but if you want to see, you can probably find a stream somewhere of the Iraq-Venezuela game on Tuesday. And then following the Iraq schedule, you'll probably see a good bit of him. I don't know if he'll be starting, and I don't think that's been decided yet, but I do think he'll get some minutes in the World Cup, which is pretty cool for Nashville SC. And when one of the main people expected to be at the World Cup, Patrick Hasback, unfortunately got hurt.
I don't understand why it's not must-watch TV. Ahmed Qasim versus Jonder Cadiz in a battle for the centuries.
Jonder Cadiz cannot be in the Venezuela lineup anymore. He cannot be called up to Venezuela anymore. You know what?
Do you mean he can't?
I don't
what
know.
Do you mean
Maybe
he can't?
I don't know.
What do you mean he can't?
I mean, they gotta have produced somebody else by now. Anyway, let's get into it.
Shout out to Solomon Rondon.
So, Clay, you kind of took charge specifically in kind of this prep for this show when it comes to the World Cup. So I'll kind of let you kick off what we're going to be doing for at least this first segment instead of just us talking and yelling at each other for ridiculous reasons.
So I imagine there might be some yelling here. So here's what we're doing. We are Steven-proofing the pharma prediction.
Oh, come on.
Because if Valaire and I take it seriously, Steven will say, like, I don't know, that Qatar is going to win the World Cup. He would just do something weird. And so what we're doing instead is we are coming up with the official, trademark Pharma Soccer prediction for who's going to win the World Cup. This is going to drop Tuesday, probably. You will then have a couple days to lock these in as your predictions for the World Cup because, it's us. So it's obviously going to be correct all the way through. And so we have some ways of solving ties. But for the most part, we are going to come up with a consensus for each World Cup group, and that will set up our knockout stages. And guys, I think some of these are kind of, because the groups aren't as strong as like World Cup groups used to be because it's been expanded. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a little strange this time going through and looking at groups, especially with third place teams and whatnot. But I think that this is a pretty good way of going through and coming up with a consensus for what we agree is going to happen.
And that's been replaced by like picking the best thirds, because there's one way to like say this team will finish third in this group. Yes, that's easy. But then how do you compare that versus another team that finished third? Because 8 of the 12 go through, but not, which is a lot of teams. But also, how do you compare two groups, you know?
It's very silly when you play that many games to eliminate so few teams.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because if you walk out with 4 points, you're pretty much guaranteed almost a spot in the round.
If you walk out with 3, if you have a win, you'll have a 67% chance of making it to the next round.
That's insane.
With a single win.
That's just insane.
Yeah. So when we beat Norway in the first game, it doesn't matter if we lose to France and Senegal.
Well, anyway, how about we get
That
going?
threw you off, I guess.
We've got several groups to resolve here, guys. So how about we get going? So we are going to start with Group A, which is a replay of a World Cup opening match to open the World Cup with South Africa and Mexico. Group A is Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and Czechia. So how we feeling? Who we think's gonna win that group?
I think Mexico and Czechia are the only two I would consider to top that group, and I would give it to Mexico just because home soil.
Yeah, I think it's pretty locked on that Mexico's going to win, so they're definitely going through. It's locked on that they're going to win that first game, which sets it up.
By the way, if you're listening to this and you want to play along, go to 615soccer.com and click on the little World Cup tab, and you can make your own bracket, and we'll save it for you. So make sure to check that out.
So, Steven, you go with Mexico to top the group?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. I'm not going to lie. I do think Mexico is going to Mexico in some way, shape, or form and give like an opening for a Czechia to kind of go through.
Czechia is not in the World Cup, just so we're clear.
Thank you very much. To go through. But for the pharmaceutical soccer existence, yes, I will give them first. I'll give Mexico first place.
So Valera is contractually obligated to not say that South Korea will finish second. So
I don't think. I mean, even on an objective standpoint, I mean, do either of you think South Korea will finish above Czechia?
I do. I think the one thing I will say is I think this group, the top 3 teams make it through. Yes or no?
I think
like
probably
third place team will also make it through. Right?
I think South Africa is going to get beat up in this group.
That's the only way you would say that all 3. So, okay. So, I mean, I can be talked into South Korea being second, but to me, my prediction is Czechia second.
Well, and Son's not exactly in the best form of his life either, so.
He's not, but he can.
But I don't know if that's
really
necessarily him. Yeah. Me personally, I would go South Korea second.
Well, it's 2 versus 1, so
yeah. So I think the official Group A.
So we're all agreeing with South Africa being last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
The official Group A is Mexico first, Czechia second, South Korea third, South Africa last. Look, Group A is already done. Why play? So now we got Group B, which is Canada, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Qatar, and Switzerland. Steven, who you thinking is topping this group?
I think easily that it's going to be Switzerland that tops it. I think Switzerland is way too good. Canada, I think Canada would be different if Alphonso Davies was going to be in the starting 11 come that first round, but it's not looking like he's going to. So I think Switzerland easily takes first place in that group.
Yeah, and I think similar to South Africa, I think Qatar is going to be the one that's kind of taking the beatings here. Yep. Not saying that it's going to be easy by any means to any of these teams, but I do believe all 3 teams will beat Qatar. And the thing is, with Switzerland, I truly believe like they are capable of something better than the last couple of World Cups, where they get to the round of 16, they look so exciting in the group stage, and they play the most boring knockout game and exit every freaking tournament they've ever been in, including the Euros and the World Cup. And I just think they actually have the potential to do something. I mean, they had a really good qualifying campaign. I think they're a very solid, sound team, and I do not expect them to have any issues with the group stage. It's really between Canada and Bosnia for that second spot, right?
I think I could be convinced that Canada is the one that lays an egg here. I think I can see that happening.
I could as well, honestly. Like, I do think Canada is a very good team, but I could be convinced of them laying an egg. Absolutely.
I'm usually pretty big on Canada, but I haven't felt very confident watching them the last few times.
The thing that kind of has me favoring Canada in my bracket over Bosnia is the fact that their system is so well known to the players and it's ingrained in them. And they play Bosnia in the first game. So, like, I can be convinced that, like, if they were playing this as the third game, the players are tired. I know some players are not coming back from injury, but they are solid. Like, Canada, I think, are solid in terms of conceding goals. I don't know. They have enough talent, but I don't think Bosnia is going to be easy either. So, but it seems like you guys have Bosnia ahead of them.
I actually am only putting Canada ahead of Bosnia because of home turf.
I do think in the long run, I would put Canada ahead of Bosnia. I do agree with you. Even though I do think Canada could lay an egg, it doesn't necessarily mean I think they're going to. I do think they could.
I think, yeah, that's more what I'm saying is I can envision a scenario where Canada.
Because, like, even if they drew Bosnia in that first game, which, by the way, there's a Bosnian population in Toronto, like a significant amount of Bosnians there. So that should be fun, you know? But even if they draw that game against Bosnia and they get a win against Qatar, it will come down to, like, goal difference. That can go either way. But, yeah, I think, okay. So I think we're set on that one then.
Yeah.
Canada second.
Yep.
So, yeah, Group B, the Pharma official prediction is Switzerland first, Canada second, Bosnia third, and Qatar fourth.
Someone's got to write these down, right?
I've got it pulled up. Don't worry.
But only if we were recording this.
All right. So Group C, I think we all know who's finishing fourth in Group C. And it's for one reason and one reason alone. And it's because they left Woubens Pacius at home.
Absolutely.
That is Pico.
Pico. So Group C is Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. I think Haiti is absolutely 100% finishing fourth. They might end up being one of the lowest ranked teams in the entire thing when it's all said and done.
Yes,
I think Scotland is so capable of a surprise.
I'm very high on Scotland.
I am. Scott McTominay went to Napoli and changed his life for so much better. And he made me realize that people still have hope regardless of where they start, even if it's a terrible place like Manchester United. And that was so inspiring to me, honestly. And
as a refugee.
You
drew a lot of
Thanks, so I'm all on the. I love this, like, new Scott McTominay with, like, fashion sense and long hair. I'm all in for Scotland, and my voice is cracking, so somebody else take it.
I had to look this up. Do you guys have any idea how old Scott McTominay is?
29, right?
Yeah,
he is 29. That is correct. I had no idea. Anyways,
dude, he was like the MVP of Serie A the first season he went there. Like, it's incredible.
I still think Scotland finishes in third, though.
I'm taking Scotland second.
Ooh.
See, so
okay,
here's the big question. Here's where I think Scotland takes points on. I think they take points on Brazil. If they do take points on anybody, it's on Brazil. But I think Brazil beats Morocco. But I still think Morocco. I think Morocco finishes first.
I have Morocco first too.
Okay.
I have Morocco, Brazil, Scotland.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I just feel like one of those, because it feels like on paper it's Morocco and Brazil. Obviously, Morocco, made the run last time, but I just feel like one of those two is apt for a letdown tournament. Like, it just feels like it's set up for me. And then, of course, Scotland has "Yes Sir, I Can Boogie" as an anthem, which is a banger, and we need to hear it more and more through the tournament. But if you guys are both going Morocco, Brazil, I'll let it be. But I do think that Scotland might be setting up for a bit of a surprise showing in that group.
I do think they set up for a surprise showing in the knockout rounds. I will say that for sure. I think it's going to be very interesting in the knockout rounds when Scotland is there. But I think the group itself, so many teams are going to be taking points off of each other in some way, shape, or form, where I don't know specifically if Scotland is going to be the benefactor of that, of points just kind of being taken all over the place.
And I do want to say also for Haiti, because we didn't talk about it, like they had a couple of good results actually in their friendlies. I mean, it's the World Cup. And we've seen Costa Rica top a group of England and
Saudi Arabia beat
Italy.
Argentina last year.
Sorry, yeah. So like I don't want to be dismissive of Haiti necessarily. I know Clay started with a joke about women's faces, but I it's just looking at it from an objective standpoint, it's hard to see where Haiti can steal some of these points. But I mean, it's not
And
impossible,
well, and this is what, like, Haiti is going through a process, right? As a national team, first you get to the World Cup, then you get
Right.
to the World Cup consistently, then you like it. It's not putting down Haiti so much as just saying like they have completed their first phase of trying to create this sort of culture around the national team being a World Cup team, because an expanded World Cup means that they are going to have better opportunities at future World Cups as well. So this is like the first step of that.
Hmm.
That's where they are, you know. But I think Group C, we're going to go Morocco. I guess that's a surprise to some people as the top in Group C, and then Brazil, Scotland, Haiti. All
And
I
right.
think
and
I think too much is relying on Vinicius Jr. for this Brazilian World Cup team, and I think that's going to be too much for them in some instances.
Yeah.
I think that first game is Morocco Brazil actually in the group, which is really good news for Scotland because they can get. There's a possibility Scotland will be top of the group after round one, right? Because
Yep.
those two could draw or something. So again, I think that's enough for Group C. We can move on.
Yeah.
Group D, baby.
Yeah. Hold on just a moment.
Clay says, hold on just a moment. But if you did not know, Group D is the United States, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey A for Group D. Obviously, I think an extremely competitive group, way more competitive when the draw happened specifically that we thought it was going to be. But obviously, Turkey A kind of joining into the mix does change some things, but I don't necessarily it changes the way this group is going to go out. And personally, I think the U.S. stops it.
Ooh, I don't agree with that.
I mean, I think the U.S. is. I think the U.S. It's weird. I would have felt differently, I think, before the two friendlies, which is
Yep,
the nature of World Cup
exactly.
friendlies, where you fall in love with something that you shouldn't fall in love with. And so, like, I do feel more confident about the U.S. I do think that this is a very winnable group for the U.S. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel comfortable saying U.S. as a prediction on this group.
So,
What do you think?
Valera, I'm assuming you have Turkey A as your top of the group, right?
Yeah, I think they have a very talented group. Um, and I think I still don't know how the US is going to play against like I haven't seen the US in enough situations where I know with the ball they do this and when they don't have the ball they do that. I don't know. I don't know if the US can break down a Paraguay team that's sitting deep. I don't know if they can break down an Australia team that doesn't care for, for playing with the ball. I don't know if they can do that and nothing
See, but
I mean nothing has shown me that they could.
I think the friendlies against Germany and stuff like that did help because there was a lot of times that Germany did sit back and the U.S. were able to attack and put shots on target and kind of put Germany to the breaking point a little bit, even while they were sitting back.
I also think that I think there have been a lot of questions around the type of support that the U.S. team has, right? Like has had at home, because Gold Cups have been kind of whatever. You know, we've seen a lot of situations where the U.S. hasn't had a unbelievable home crowd, not just in terms of like support, but in terms of like actual like passion and like propelling the team on. And I do think that we saw a lot of that different in the friendlies, and a World Cup kind of necessitates that. Also, the fact it costs like $2,000 to go to a match, but like the World Cup kind of necessitates like having that sort of uh, drive to create a home atmosphere. And I just don't think that the U.S. has been in that sort of situation, and I think it will play a part in the same way that it played a part, you know, going back to '94. And so ultimately, I'm not sure how the U.S. is going to play in certain situations against certain teams, but I am feeling fairly confident that they're going to have a backing and a support in the stands that they probably haven't really felt in the same way in a long time.
Definitely not. What looked like in Chicago was awesome, and I don't
Yeah.
think they've had that in a very long time. And you're right. I actually tweeted about that. We're not even a third of the way through, and we've spent a lot of time. So I will concede to your USA topping of the group. Turkey
And
as second. Everybody
Yes.
good with that?
yeah.
Yes. Paraguay
And
third.
I
Australia
controversially have Australia above Paraguay, but I think
Hey, you know what?
I'll take it.
I'm good with that. Shout out
All
to the
right, let's
Joseph
do it.
10K Hill.
Let's do it. Well,
That's just
he's
I
the
knew-
host of player.
I knew Clay would be good with that. Absolutely.
Well, it's Valair holding it down for the AFC. I get it.
Yeah, man.
All
Switch
right.
seats. Yeah.
Group E is Germany, Curacao, Ivory Coast, Ecuador. I feel first and last on this is pretty locked in.
yes.
Yes.
Well, is it?
I think Curacao is not going to get a result here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, first and last. Sorry, I heard first and last.
Yeah.
Yes, Curacao and Germany.
Yeah.
First, obviously.
So where are we thinking on Ivory Coast, Ecuador for who's
I have
versus
Ecuador
top?
second, and I have Ecuador actually challenging Germany for that first spot. They're a very good team. Very, very good team.
I am always inclined.
Why are they
even
really
though-
good, Flair? Is there a specific player on that team that you feel like is going to change the tide of things?
I don't think it's like a superstar type of thing, but I think it's more so the way they played together. They've been together for a while, this group. They had the 22 experience, very similar to the USMNT, actually, if you think about it. They were one of the youngest teams going into 2022. I think they were like the second or third youngest team in the squad. And then they come in, they get that World Cup experience, which is very important, right? Clay was talking about that. They were building, kind of like Haiti is building. And then now they come in, they've played in World Cups. They have players at big clubs like Arsenal, none of other clubs. Ever.
I know. I was waiting. Pretty much, I was waiting for you to talk about Moises Caicedo as a good person and that you like him, and that's why.
I do think he's a good player, but he doesn't play for a big club, so I can't mention him. The other player I do want to talk about is Enner Valencia, who's been part of the national team since I can remember soccer. So he's been around for a while. He's 36, I think, and still going.
I just want to say this, and it's funny because we just like ho-hummed putting Paraguay fourth in the previous group, but like I think that there's something to be said for the difficulty of South American qualifying and setting
Yes.
up for these types of situations. And I think it makes sense to lean on, if you're kind of whatever, lean on a team that got through the absolute gauntlet that is South American qualifying and the
Yeah,
teams you have to
that's
play
fair.
to get through it.
I would go Ecuador second.
Okay, so Germany, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and Curacao for Group E. Group
Cote
F.
d'Ivoire.
And
we
by the
have-
way, if you want to learn more about these teams, because we're not going to be able to cover all 48 teams, there are multiple places you can go. One of them is 615 Soccer Preview. So just go to 615soccer.com. You can go to my personal channels. I'm doing a quick video on each, but that's only a minute or so. So it depends on what you're looking for. And then you can go to Kickback First Touch. It's a podcast about 20 minutes or 20 minutes or 15 minutes for each country. And it goes a little bit more details. So all of those are resources that personally I worked on, but also they're good. I promise you.
All right, we're
not going to cover every team here.
Valera's plugs and predictions are out of the way now. So now we're going to Group F. You've got Netherlands, Nashville's own Japan, the Blue Samurai, Sweden, and Tunisia. Feels pretty obvious that Sweden's last year, right?
Yes.
I don't think Tunisia lost to
no,
Switzerland
I don't know.
5-0.
Oh, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Sweden just shouldn't be in the World Cup.
Sweden, for all their faults, they still have Victor Gyökeres and Alexander Isak. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for all
that's
of their
fair.
faults.
That's fair. That's fair.
They still have quality. I know they haven't put it together, but they did qualify somewhat in a fluky way, so I will give you that. I think Tunisia will be last, personally.
Yeah. What are we thinking? Netherlands or Japan?
I have
think
Netherlands.
Netherlands, yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll go Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, Tunisia.
I think Japan can be a dark horse in this tournament for sure, and I think
Yeah,
that's
Japan
something
is-
that a lot of people are going to be looking out as. But I think it's going to be more a dark horse in the knockout.
Japan
rounds.
is training in the best place on earth, so that only adds to their.
And generally, they are a very good team, a very, very technically sound team.
Yeah, so we're gonna go. Official prediction for Group F is Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, Tunisia.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Group G, this is where it gets a little bit interesting in some
Mhm.
ways. We've got Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand.
I think New Zealand is really going to struggle here, and I think
Yeah.
everybody agrees they'll be last here.
Yeah.
My thing with Iran is that they are going through a lot of hardship, which can cause two things. Either a rallying around the troops and getting, well, no troops, just rallying around. But I hate myself. I'm sorry, guys. A rallying around and sort of let's do it because we're facing adversity type of thing, which we've seen from soccer teams in the past, or a complete like unorganized mess of things. So I don't know how they're going to respond to it. I will tell you, I do have them second. I see Iran national team quite often watching Asian qualifiers or watching Asia Cup or whatever. As an Iraqi, I absolutely hate that national team. It is my ops, as the kids say. But I do think they have enough quality to finish second in this group and get a good result against Egypt, beat New Zealand, and then even if they lose against Belgium, I think they'll still make it second there.
I think the thing with Iran too is that they're in this situation as a team that has played in multiple World Cups and
Yes.
so it's not like they don't know what to do. You know what I mean? They're not experiencing, at least on the pitch, anything they haven't dealt with before. Now off the pitch, it's a nightmare
Yeah.
for what's going on. But on the pitch, like I think that they're in a situation where you can have that sort of rallying factor, and I agree, it's a lot to put them in first, but I do feel pretty good about them finishing second in this group, and I think what we all think Belgium's obviously top in the group here, or
I will concede, and I do think Egypt takes second. Actually, I just think the quality of Egypt's players is going to be better than Iran, unfortunately. But I think from a prediction, I see your guys' points, and it will absolutely concede Iran in second place.
Okay, we got an official
all right.
ranking there.
So we've got for this group, Group G, Belgium, Iran, Egypt, and then New Zealand. All right, moving on to Group H.
Also, just specifically, Belgium is going to beat Belgium so hard in the knockout rounds in some instance where they are going to absolutely collapse. That is my prediction when it comes to that in some way, shape, or form.
That is what Belgium
At
does.
least that golden generation is finally done. I had to deal with that for like 20 years, bro.
Shout out to Romelu Lukaku. He's played for 2 of our 3 teams. So, moving on to Group H, another Tennessee resident for the time being and World Cup favorite, Spain, as well as Cabo Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Spain's definitely winning this group. I think we can all.
Yes. And Uruguay is definitely second. Let's just lock those two in.
Yeah,
we don't even
I
need
think
to talk about
me, this is my first group where the third place finisher does not make it, in my opinion.
I think Cabo Verde is going to beat Saudi Arabia and make it to the next round, but that is a little bit controversial, I understand. And
I'm good with it.
Yeah. I do think Cabo Verde overtakes Saudi Arabia. I will say that for sure. So
okay.
I do, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be they get a draw against like Spain randomly or something like that. Like Spain sits everybody for their last match or something. I don't know.
Guess who got a draw against Spain last week?
But time to move to Group I.
That's right, baby.
Group I, of course, is for Iraq. This is without a doubt one of the toughest groups in the World Cup. You've got France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway. So
3 of those teams are absolutely incredible world beaters, and then there's Norway. Like, what are we doing?
Can we just I don't mean to be mean to Valère, but for the sake of time and all of things, can we just move on here?
I don't have second and third and first.
I don't mean to. Yeah, absolutely.
Here's my thing.
France,
In
Norway,
first place,
Senegal. Right.
In first place, I have Iraq. In first place, I have Iraq. In second place, I have Iraq. In third place, I have Iraq. And in fourth place, Dylan. It's my favorite rapper.
Yeah. Thanks for that 25-year-old reference.
All right. Yeah, I don't know how I know it. I wasn't even in the country when it aired. Anyway, I just know things. Yeah, I will concede to Iraq being last here, but I will say if we get a single goal at the World Cup, I'm gonna celebrate like we won the whole tournament, and you
as,
might see me burn stuff in cities.
as
So
you should.
All
As you
right,
should.
I'm going Senegal second. I think
I go
Senegal.
Norway second personally.
I think
but
Senegal is coming off an African Cup of Nations where everyone said they didn't win, even though they won, and that's a good Senegal team that has World Cup experience and has knockout experience. Norway.
this is very good radio, but whoever's scrolling or whatever, please stop doing that. It sounds terrible.
that was Clay. Here's the thing about like I think Norway has the ability to take points against France. I don't think Senegal does, personally. So that's where I kind of feel like Norway is in second place for me, in that standpoint. And
so I'm conflicted internally, let alone with you guys, because in my video, and I just realized this happened, by the way, in my video, I put Senegal second, and I just looked at my bracket that I filled up at 615soccer.com, and I have Norway second. So I don't even know what I think, so I'll leave it up to you guys.
All right. All I'm going to say is that we are to Group I, and so far there is one African team that is in the top two. So I'm thinking we might be a little Eurocentric on some of these predictions. I think Senegal's a really good team.
Senegal it is, Clay. I'll give you.
I'm just saying, like, you got
I'll
to
give
check
you this
yourself
one.
sometimes. Like, to me, it seems like it would be very strange if only one African team finished in the top two.
But why would you say? Oh, I see. But they could have still advanced to the next round.
They could. Yeah, I'm just meeting like.
Okay. Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Iraq first, France last, Senegal and Norway.
Yeah, and we're going France, Senegal, Norway, Iraq.
Okay.
And I'm rooting for Everton, so I'm going to go Senegal first. No, just the Group J. You've got Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan.
If Jordan scores a goal at this World Cup, I will be very surprised. Yeah, and I do not like them. I just want the record to show.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if Argentina finishes second in the group.
I would be shocked.
I would be extremely shocked.
I think Austria have an incredibly great team. Okay, so if you want to picture what Austria is, picture Canada with Jesse Marsh. Now picture the guy who taught Jesse Marsh how to do that, and he is coaching Austria. So
the reason why I said I wouldn't be surprised if Argentina doesn't win the group is because Argentina screwed around in group play last year or last World Cup. Argentina won the last World Cup. And I'm a Los Angeles Dodgers fan, and the Dodgers stopped caring about the regular season about 10 years ago.
Many people screw up during group play. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
I still feel like Argentina can lay an egg in one of these matches and still top the group easily.
Well, and I think Austria can be the team that gets a point off Argentina, and then they're going to top the group.
I think it's gonna. I think Steven and I are on the same page here. Argentina, then Austria.
Yep.
Yeah. I was
Algeria over Jordan.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Group K: Portugal, Congo, Uzbekistan, Colombia.
Pretty straightforward for the first two, I think. Here, Portugal top, Colombia second.
Yes,
I'm good with that.
And then
now the third one here, I think. I don't know. I think that's going to be a little harder to guess. I have Uzbekistan, which is a little bit of a surprise, I think, for people. But they're coached by Fabio Cannavaro. They're very, very hard to beat. I don't know. Congo had to go through the qualifiers and didn't necessarily look stellar in those. They barely beat Jamaica 1-0. They don't want the ball. Uzbekistan doesn't want the ball. A draw doesn't help either team. And their game, actually, they have the last game. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I might be there. I'm good with Uzbekistan.
I'm good with it, too.
Yeah, all right, let's do it.
And then, all right, last but not least, Group L, which is very funny that England is in Group L. But you got
Can
England,
we put
Croatia.
England at third, please? Can we just do it?
England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. Panama's fourth.
I will say this is probably the least exciting group out of all the groups because Ghana and Panama are coming to this tournament in some of the worst shape any World Cup team has ever come to any tournament. in the modern era, let me say. I think Egypt didn't make it to the 1930 World Cup because they couldn't get it on a boat or something. Anyway, so with that said, England will finish first here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no going around that. Croatia, if this was any other team other than Ghana, I would have said probably Croatia finishes third. But Ghana have just hired their coach like a month ago, and it's Carlos Queiroz, who does have a lot of experience, but I don't know. They do have Antoine Semenyo, so I don't want to say they're not a good team, but
I think
man,
Croatia is actually a pretty stinking good team. And
I mean, Croatia's made runs, so I'm good with England.
they're rolling with
Croatia,
like 80-year-old Modric as their like heart of midfield.
Yeah. And then Peter Musa is going to score 6 goals and win the Golden Boot.
Well, I think I'm fine with Croatia being second. I'm not arguing against it. Actually, that's what I have. I'm just saying, like, if instead of Ghana was Senegal there, I think I would consider Senegal being second over Croatia. But it's not. Ghana third, Panama fourth. I don't think Panama is going to have a good time this World Cup, just like the last time they made it. But shout out Anibal Godoy.
All right.
Shout out Anibal Godoy to score a goal.
Real quick before we wrap up, we have 12 third-place teams. Those teams are South Korea, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Scotland, Australia, Ivory Coast, Sweden, Ghana, Uzbekistan, Algeria, Norway, Cabo Verde, Egypt. Scotland and Norway we both mentioned as probably going through. South Korea, what do we think on that one?
I think they go through.
Blair?
The thing is, I'm trying to find...
South Korea goes through. Stop it.
You have to find places where other teams don't take points. So if you're saying South Korea goes, that means Sweden and Tunisia will have to, like, draw. You know what I mean? Like, you have to find...
I could see that happening. I could absolutely see that happening.
Yeah, okay. So I'm good with South Korea. I'm just saying, like, let's be judicial with our picks, because you have to...
If we're saying that Group J is terrible, then Algeria is probably getting a win over Jordan.
Right. That's my point. Exactly. So Egypt is getting getting a win over New Zealand, Egypt or Iran. So then they're going in, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But I would say, like, Uzbekistan is not, it's a possibility that Uzbekistan goes in and draws Congo. I would not have Uzbekistan as a third place.
I'll be fine with taking out Uzbekistan. It might be easier to take out thirds than
All right. So I'm going to go. We mentioned Bosnia earlier, so we'll put them in. So that means we've got 2 teams left of Cabo Verde, Australia, Ivory Coast, Sweden, Ghana, and Uzbekistan.
I think there's a chance Australia doesn't make it.
I think Cabo Verde for me.
You think Cabo Verde beats Saudi Arabia and kind of go through?
No, I think Cabo Verde draws Saudi Arabia.
They won't make it. Yeah, I see what you mean.
All right, so we're going to say Ghana probably goes through because they're going to beat up on Panama.
I think they beat Panama, yeah.
And then you've got Australia, Ivory Coast, Sweden, Uzbekistan, Cabo Verde.
We're saying Sweden, Cabo Verde, and Uzbekistan are not making it.
Yes. Okay, so Australia or Ivory Coast?
Let me see Ivory Coast team.
Ivory Coast has
Ecuador.
Ivory Coast is playing Curacao. Yeah, it's Ivory Coast.
I think Ivory Coast goes through.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, there's your World Cup. Who needs to watch the tournament now? It's all done. So there we go. We will send the knockout stages and let you know, but we got a few things we got to do first.
Yes, we will talk about how well we do, but we guys still have some more World Cup stuff to talk about. And we have, I think, Clay has more stuff prepared for us. We're going to do that next, right here on this extremely long episode of Pharmaceutical Soccer. And we are back right here on Pharmaceutical Soccer at Pharmasoccer on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, even though Nashville SC is not going to be playing during the World Cup, besides one player specifically, there's still going to be so much coverage happening at 615soccer.com. Honestly, when we were going through that first segment, I was just going through the group previews that were put out on 615 Soccer, going through. It's been a lot of fun. We're doing a fantasy league. We're doing so much discussion World Cup wise. It's great. Please be a part of what's going on at 615soccer.com. It's been awesome. It's been a really good time. So I'm happy about it. I'm glad I get to follow along with a lot of people, still in Nashville. Yeah. 615 Soccer, also farmersoccer.com for merchandise. Get ready for what's going on in Nashville in a month and a half's time.
All right. So we can't do a preview episode of any sort without doing a preview prop bets.
Yay,
So-
preview prop bets. Let's go.
So first off, everybody's got $25. Very simple. People, you guys know how prop bets work. You listen to Pharma Soccer. You know how prop bets work. So we're going to keep this very simple. Who you guys got for the Golden Boot?
Blair, do you want to go?
I will start with $5 on Kai Havertz.
Interesting.
You are such a homer. It's ridiculous. You are embarrassing. Like, literally embarrassing.
When he wins the Golden Boot, and both of you are wrong, I'm going to clip this and I'm going to post it on your account every day.
Cool. And when it doesn't happen, I'm going to clip it and put it on yours every single day.
No, because you're going to get your prediction wrong, so it's going to be fine.
If I were a homer, I would put $9 on Illiman and Jai. But since I'm not being a homer, I'm putting $9 on Harry Kane.
Y'all sleeping on Kai Havertz, bro. I swear you don't understand how good he is.
I think he's good. I'm not sleeping. I'm just choosing someone else.
Okay, that's fine.
For me, Golden Boot winner, I will put $5, and I'm taking this seriously because this is World Cup. This is not Nashville SC time. This is World Cup time.
He says before saying Ahmed Kasim.
I'm gonna put Golden Boot winner as Lamine Yamal. I think he carries that Spain team, and I think a lot of how far Spain goes is going to be on his back. And I think just the way that he shows up in these tournaments is insane. So I'm going to go Lamine Yamal, $5.
All right. Well,
major snub from the Pharma podcast to not mention Kylian Mbappe, you know, the guy chasing the World Cup record in terms of goals.
Well,
but here's the thing is that all of the coverage surrounding Kylian Mbappe lately makes me hate him. So I don't think he's going to do it.
I love Kylian Mbappe. I don't care if he's a dictator.
Well, Steven, I think you kind of set the. Are you going to choose Yamal for your Golden Ball winner then too as well, or someone else?
Can I ask a stupid question first?
Yeah.
What is the Golden Ball winner again?
Best player of the tournament.
Yeah.
Best player of the tournament. Yeah, I think I'm going to set that up as no. Actually, for this one, I'll go Kylian Mbappe. I'll set that one up as Kylian Mbappe for. Let's go $2.
You just let yourself get bullied into it.
$2 for Mbappe.
Blair, what are you choosing?
Can you go? I'm still thinking.
Okay. I'm going to choose Yamal. I think Spain's winning. So I'm going to put like $8 on that.
Who did you say? I couldn't hear you.
Sorry.
Lamine Yamal.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Dang, that's who I had to. Kind of want to be different, but I think I'll go with Rafinha for $2.
Okay.
Now you're probably saying, why did you pick him? I think he's going to have a great World Cup. That's why I picked him.
So we're going to get a little bit weird now for a couple of these. So name a country that wins a penalty shootout.
Okay. Is it so? Just name any. It doesn't matter if it's the
name
first
a country
one to
that
win
goes to a penalty shootout and wins one.
I will say $5 on Austria.
Okay. Steven, what do you think?
I'm going to go $3 on Croatia.
And
I think it happens very early. That we all forget about Croatia's keeper being awesome, even though he's freaking awesome though.
And I think you guys know where I'm going here. I'm going to go $3 on England because Jordan Pickford has actually been unbelievable in penalty shootouts, which is weird for England, who notoriously loses penalty shootouts.
Yeah, because he plays for England, and you have to rely on English people to score in a shootout, which is not going to happen.
I'm just saying he's saved multiple penalties in penalty shootouts for England.
The thing is, like, I thought you had to be a human, and him being like a T-Rex and still being able to play is wild.
I mean, you're trying to bait me. It's fine. Jordan Pickford's a dinosaur. He's also one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I'm fine.
Yeah, he's an old. He's a
It's
dinosaur.
all right. My goalkeeper for Arsenal doesn't even get to start for Spain, regardless of him being the best goalkeeper in the world this season. So fine.
Well, that was sort of like, just a sidetrack here for just a moment. Mikel Arteta never capped for his national team,
Yeah, I know.
despite being one of the best midfilders in the Premier League, because of
But
who
if you
he
look
was
at the
behind.
midfielders,
Because of who he was
like,
behind in Spain.
insanity. Yeah.
All right, so this is
I said Austria. Okay, yeah, we're good.
So here's a weird one.
Mhm.
So it can't be a team that you think is going to win the World Cup. I want you to name like a guaranteed goal scorer. Like they can't have they have to score a goal, but they can't win the World Cup.
I have $8 on this one, and it's going to be Ayman Hassan. He's going to score Iraq's second goal ever in the World Cup. Been waiting on that. That's what I saved my money for.
Okay, Steven?
You
heard it here. Valera doesn't think Iraq's going to win the World Cup.
I do not.
I'm going to go $5 on Mo Salah.
And I'm going to be a homer and put $3 on Christian Pulisic. All right. And then last, the surprise one. Which game do you think Valera sheds his first tear?
No, that can't actually be it, is it? Because it's the first game. That's just stupid. It's not actually that one, is it?
No, I'm just going to say which Iraq game do they get a point out of? At least a point out of.
I'm going to go the first game against Norway, and it's the $5 that I have left.
You know what? Screw it. $10 in France. Screw it. Let's do it.
I like how you saved the most money for the last one, even though you didn't know what the last one was.
Nope, I don't even care. Yep, I saved the most money for the last one, and I'm going France. They're going to pull an Argentina and lose.
I'm just putting $2 on the, or I guess $5, yeah, on the same one Blair has for Norway. Anyway, there's your mini prop bets. We've now officially called it a preview episode. Now we can go find out what's going to actually happen in the World Cup.
Dude, Valera draws a tear in Chicago. Like, I don't understand.
I'm not going to that, by the way. I know I kind of made it sound like I'm going to that. I'm not going to the friendly.
You did make it sound like you were going to Chicago.
Yeah, I know. I realize that.
Especially with you being in Michigan, it's only like a 3.5-hour drive. I'm actually shocked you're not going.
I know, but it's kind of like when you go to the World Cup, it's like, why do you want to not, yeah. Anyway. Go on.
Yeah, why I get what Blair's saying. If you're going to see Iraq in the U.S. for the first time and you have a chance to see them in a nothing game in Chicago or in the World Cup,
right?
You see them at the World Cup.
Blair, it has got to be. It is. What has it been like for you though? As like, obviously, been a part of national soccer for a very long time. You have a crowd of people that are absolutely rooting for Iraq in this World Cup, specifically just because of the fact of what you do on this show.
I also think it really helps when a Nashville C player plays for Iraq.
Also true.
I think that's made it a lot easier for people to follow. No, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see the support. Like when we made it to the World Cup, I got so many messages from people, obviously like friends of mine. That's, people I've known and met in Nashville, but also some people I've never met
rooting against Iraq.
Were happy for me, which is really cool, to not meet someone and them being so supportive of, everybody can have a second team and a third team and fourth team and whatever else team. So, and if you can see Ahmed Qasim score a goal in the World Cup
to beat France,
that's a plus. Yeah, to beat France or Norway or both. Costa Rica,
Yeah. So, all right. So I think we can go ahead and figure out what's going to happen in this, and we'll get to that right after this. And welcome back to Pharmaceutical Soccer. Clay Trainum, once again joined by Iraq's very own Stephen Robinson.
Yay! I knew that was coming. Thank you very much.
And the pride of Overton High School, Valera. So
I thought you were going to say something about Michigan. But
no, but it would work in this situation. I was going to go Iceland because Steven wore that Iceland jersey for the entire 2018 World Cup.
No.
Steven has
Oh,
an Iceland jersey?
Poland
Yeah, he wore
jersey.
an Iceland jersey that had
No.
the Mighty Ducks guy on it for the entire 2018 World Cup.
That I did, actually. That is true.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh,
But,
what a traitor. Wait, the U.S.
Gunnar
wasn't in that
Stahl,
one.
baby.
This is what happens when you don't drink. You remember very strange pieces of trivia.
Wow.
So we've got the knockout round set up. We now know how it's going to play out. And so we're just going to kind of work our way through here real quick. This will not take as long as the group stages took, but let's just go ahead and look at the matchups here. So in the first grouping of games, match number 74, you've got Germany versus Scotland. And
Germany.
okay, just
Germany.
fine. We'll just predict it, I guess. I was going to hit simulate. The simulation has Scotland winning on penalties.
That's so
We'll go
dumb.
Germany.
There's no way that actually happens.
So we'll go Germany, and then we got France versus Egypt in the next one.
France.
Come on.
Yeah.
Don't simulate.
And then Canada versus Czechia.
Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with it.
The simulation also chooses Canada. And then the last in this group is the Netherlands versus Brazil, which is like a nice historic matchup.
Oh, man.
Oh, because we have Brazil finishing second.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think Brazil takes that one still.
I'll
go with that.
I don't think
Carlo
the Netherlands
here.
teams are as
Yeah.
strong as past Dutch teams. So
And then that does also set up Germany versus France in Philadelphia in the next round, which is quite an early round.
it's crazy that they lose to Iraq in Philadelphia and then they go play Germany in Philadelphia again.
What do you guys think it happens there?
I think France.
I think Kai Havertz scores a brace.
You're so stupid.
Actually, you know what? We're going to come back to it. Let's go ahead.
Let's
and
come
move
back
to
to
the
it.
next
Let's
segment.
come back to it.
All right.
Yeah.
So in the next grouping of matches, you've got Colombia and Croatia.
Colombia goes through there.
That's a good one. I think this is
I
the
like
one. There's a
Colombia
penalty
here as
shootout.
well.
I'll take Croatia.
I like Colombia here, so I'm going Colombia.
All right, I'll give you guys Colombia.
All right. Then you've got Spain and Austria.
Spain easily.
Yeah. I feel good about it.
I hate that
I feel
Austria's
good
leaving in
about
the round of
Austria.
32, though.
That sucks.
That's my dark horse, yeah. But
Well, you
they
should have chosen Austria to finish first in their group, and then you wouldn't have to deal with it.
I know. Well, I didn't do that.
Unless
so
Valeri
go on.
uses that as an excuse to be like, you should have started David Raya.
And then it sets up U.S. versus Bosnia and Herzegovina in San Francisco.
U.S.
Yeah, I like the U.S. there. And then Belgium and South Korea.
Belgium.
All right.
Sorry.
All right.
I gave y'all South Korea in the first round. I'm not going to give you this again.
All right. Now let's go to the next grouping of matches. You got Morocco and Japan. Oh, rough for Japan.
Oh, man, I hate that. I want both
That's
of
a
them.
tough one. I'm going to go Japan, though.
I'm
I'll
going
go
Japan. Yeah.
Ooh, first hot take. Morocco's going to top Brazil and then exit in the third round, in the round of 32.
Yeah, they're playing. We have them playing Japan in Houston. Then you got
I don't know.
Ecuador.
Morocco might appeal it and then end up winning.
Then you got Ecuador versus Senegal.
God, that's a tough group too.
I'm going Senegal though. Knockout.
I'm gonna
rounds,
go
man. They're good.
I go Senegal for Clay. Only for Clay, I'll go Senegal.
I want Ecuador, but I lost, so it's fine.
Then you got Mexico versus Cote d'Ivoire. Does Mexico get over the knockout rounds?
I think so.
I don't think so, but it's fine.
All right, and then England versus Norway.
Ake Loba makes a surprise appearance and scores 3 goals against Mexico.
England versus Norway in Atlanta.
That's closer than you
that's
think.
Nuts. I go Norway personally.
I'm going England.
Yeah, I'm going England.
That's fine.
But do you think Haaland gets booed if he scores and then goes back to City?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he does too.
By the way, England versus Norway, just demographically a strange matchup for the city of Atlanta. Just not the two countries I think of. Then you got Miami. Speaking of hosting here, this would be crazy. Miami hosting Argentina versus Uruguay.
Wait, that's for round of 32?
Yeah.
That's some bangers, bro.
Dude,
Argentina.
I'm going
mean,
Argentina.
I'll
Messi
go
playing in
Argentina.
Miami.
I will say, if I did have like one rooting interest though in it, just the World Cup, I think Croatia, because I'm going to one of those matches, but Marcelo Bielsa is the best manager of all time, so I will be following along with Uruguay very much so. And Darwin Nunez is going to do something ridiculous.
Yeah, he's going to kick a field goal in a soccer game.
Exactly.
All right, then Turkey and Iran.
Turkey.
Turkey.
And then I was going to go Iran just for the, the narrative here. Switzerland versus Algeria.
Switzerland.
Not
even a chance.
The Swiss.
And Portland,
the Swiss man.
Portland. Wow, Portugal got it, not Portland. I'm so used to reading POR as Portland.
Phil Neville. Phil Neville's Portugal. Might as well be Phil Neville with Roberto Martinez. No offense to your Everton heritage. Yeah, Portugal with that one for sure.
All right. Now we're into the next round. Germany, France. Now you got to pick one. Do you want what the simulation says? The simulation says Germany 2, France 1.
I think France wins it, buddy. I think France wins.
Clay, what are you thinking?
I'm fine with France winning, but
all right, that's fine. I'll
but
concede.
I don't.
But
Really...
Havertz will score 5 in the group stage, and then 10 in the round of 32, and win the Golden Boot with 15.
Okay. Canada, Brazil. This is the Ancelotti derby because Ancelotti lives in Canada.
Awesome, Brazil.
Oh yeah, Brazil wins. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about other things about Ancelotti and stuff.
And then on the other side, you've got Colombia and Spain.
Spain, but closer than I want it. Closer than I think.
Yeah.
And then a rematch in match 94 in Seattle, United States and Belgium.
I personally, I'm taking the U.S.
Blair, who are you taking?
This is not the Belgium team of when the U.S. played them previously.
It's like who is going to bottle it more, the U.S. at home or Belgium in a World Cup? And it's a tough question.
It's a tough call.
I have said that the golden generation is done, and I'm happy that it's done. Okay, U.S. Let's do it.
All right. The simulation is Belgium 3, U.S. 0, but we're going U.S. That's the official prediction.
Yes, we are. Suck it, Ben Wright. Way to have faith in your team.
All right, Japan, Senegal. Simulation is Senegal 1, Japan 0.
I'm taking Japan, baby.
I'm taking Japan.
I'll go Japan, hometown, Nashville, make a run. Then Mexico, England. I mean, is there any scenario we're not picking England?
By the way, that one is in Estadio Azteca.
Yeah. Oh, is. Yeah.
England cannot breathe in the heat. So
that's a fair
and altitude.
It's England at altitude in the knockouts, or Mexico in a round that they've never won it.
I think England still takes
England
it.
pulls it through.
I think England does too.
I didn't think about that.
Mexicans lose their minds.
Oh my gosh, that match at the Azteca, that would be insane. Like absolute insanity.
All right, and then back to Atlanta for Argentina versus Turkey.
Yeah, Argentina.
Yeah. And then Switzerland versus Portland, also known as Portugal.
I think this is where the surprise happens. Switzerland takes over Portugal. I don't have Portugal very high in this tournament, personally.
I think everyone writes off Switzerland because they want Messi versus Ronaldo, and Switzerland ruins it. Yeah, I'm going Switzerland here.
I'll give you. I think Portugal wins it. I think their midfield is too good, but I do think Switzerland could win that match. So I'll give you guys Switzerland.
All right, France, Brazil.
France.
Flair.
I want Brazil to win this one. Just for Louis, Louis.
You know what?
Brazil.
I'm going Brazil. I'm going to go with Flair. I'm going Brazil. It's 94, recapture 94 vibes.
But Valera's about to pick France.
He just said he wants Brazil to win. He just needed some support, and I'm here to support him because shout out to my boy Carlo.
Yeah, you guys got me on France versus Germany, so you're not going to get me France versus Brazil.
All right, Spain, United States.
Okay, don't even. Let's go.
Just shut up.
Let's go.
Spain looking to get the U.S. back for the 2009 Confederations Cup, a very important tournament that everyone cares about.
I'm sure Yamal wasn't even born.
I think he was. Was he?
I don't know. He's so young.
Okay. On the other side, we've got Japan, England. I think this Japan magical run is coming to an end here.
Yeah, I think so.
I disagree.
We got it as high as we can.
Dude,
would you like to know what
England
the simulation
sucks.
says?
What would
Simulation has Japan going through on penalties.
I would love it, honestly. Get somebody
for
else in the
bit,
semifinal.
That would be very funny. And then you've got Argentina, Switzerland.
Yeah, Argentina.
Yamal was born in 2007. That's disgusting.
That's only 2 years before. He was 2 years old when that happened. That's insane. I hate everything.
He was born the same year that Benny Feilhaber scored that unbelievable goal in Chicago. All right. We've got Brazil.
I would love for someone to explain the concept of Benny Feilhaber to Lamine Yamal.
Shout out to the early MLS days and Benny Feilhaber singing Jordan Sparks' No Air shirtless on YouTube.
I have seen that video.
What a time. What a time to be alive. Swope Park Rangers manager legend, Benny Feilhaber. Anyway, so we're to the final two matches here before the final. You've got Brazil and España on one side. England and Argentina
Spain goes to the final
on the other. We go
Spain and who?
Spain and Brazil.
Spain.
You got England, Argentina, and Spain and Brazil.
I think it's going to be England, Spain final then.
Why the hell do we have England this far up? It's not going to happen. What are we doing?
You think Argentina is going to beat them in the semifinal?
Yes, absolutely. I think Japan is also going to. Why is England this high up?
Because
they're good.
Bukayo Saka.
All right. Just for the record, the simulation has Spain beating Brazil in penalties.
That's fair. I'll take it.
I could see that happening, yeah.
And it has England winning or England advancing on penalties 1-1 with Argentina.
I think if this is a real semifinal, I think England wins it.
I think England wins it in Atlanta.
I've
everything is in Atlanta.
So are you guys saying? So you guys are saying England wins it?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying Spain wins it. The World Cup.
Well,
cool. England
in the semifinal. Yeah. All right.
Well, that is Steven doesn't get a say. We already agreed. So.
So that sets it up. Brazil, Argentina in the third place game in Miami.
Oh, that's the most miserable game of all time. And it's Brazil, Argentina
in Miami.
That is so sad, dude. That would be the saddest game ever. I don't care. Pick whatever you want there.
Argentina 3-0 is the simulation.
That we'll take it.
All right. So now it's time for the official Pharma Soccer World Cup prediction. Spain versus England.
6-0. Lamine Yamal scores 5 goals in that. Like, what are we doing here? Spain, England. Spain is going to destroy this England team. Are you kidding me?
Why are you so hyped up about this? Why are you so low on England? They have a great manager. They do. He doesn't care about all the English media stuff. He's very, very, solid to the point.
Maybe, but that's probably the reason why he doesn't like him.
Yeah. Cool. Let's put on their great offensive subs that they're all still at home. Crap.
They literally have Premier League winner Eberechi Eze, Premier League winner Noni Madueke, Premier League winner Bukayo Saka, Premier League winner Declan Rice,
Premier League participant Jordan Pickford.
It's weird that
Tony came off scoring 12,000 goals in Saudi Arabia.
It's only one of them is a Champions League winner, and he's the coach.
And it's weird. That Jordan Pickford, who's never played in Champions League, is still one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Doesn't matter.
Anyway, I think what we did with our bracket is pretty good. You should both tap yourself in the back, and I'll tap myself in the back.
Did you pick Spain?
Yeah.
I think all three of us picked Spain. Would you guys like to know the simulation score?
Yes.
4-1
I'm fine
Spain.
with the bracket, except I still think
you go.
England going to the final is wild. Like, do you think in your heart of hearts that England is making it to the final?
I think England has done well in the last several.
I think
tournaments.
if the bracket falls through like we had it, I don't see why not. If they get a France or even a Brazil maybe earlier, probably not. But the way that we had the bracket, it was like Mexico and Japan, I think, which like you
It's
can't
not-
convince me that.
It's not the way the World Cup used to be. So like it makes sense that they wouldn't have the same types. But like they've made some runs here the last, I don't know, 8 years or so.
Yeah.
They aren't the England that we all know. But by the way, in this version of the World Cup, they still have never beat the US in the World Cup. So we still got that going for us because the
That's
US
true.
have beaten them. So
They've also never beat Iraq in the World Cup.
you're damn right. Steven, I'm not sure if you heard the score of the simulation. It was 4-1 Spain for the final. So your official pharmaceutical
You weren't that
soccer,
far off, yeah.
your official
was not that far.
pharmaceutical soccer World Cup winner, España, the pride of the Baylor School in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And you know who's going to be the best player for España? Mikel Merino, Premier League winner.
Jeez, you're so stupid.
It is wild that you said that, considering you almost chose Lamine Yamal for player of the tournament.
Yeah.
He's not
I mean, those awards are just a clown show anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Oliver Kahn has in two. He made 2 mistakes in the final. What are we talking about? What are we doing?
Well,
Anyway.
2002, the Kirk World Cup. US would have won the World Cup if it wasn't for Germany.
All right, I don't know what.
Chill out. Oh my God. Imagine Bruce Arena had lifted the World Cup. I would have been so insufferable. This is amazing.
Which, by the way, you finished the Clint Dempsey documentary.
Yeah,
right?
that was great.
How do
That
you
was
feel? How do you feel? Do you still have the same level of aptitude for Bruce Arena that you do after watching that documentary?
Of course. I knew all that already. I mean, it's not like it revealed anything new.
It's not weird for managers.
He was 34 years old with the heart issue. Like, I'm sorry you didn't get to start. That's how his whole thing is like, oh, I work so hard and I work no matter what. So what? You get put on the bench. You're like all of a sudden upset now. Come on, don't throw a tantrum.
Well,
you're Glenn Dempsey. Go play.
Dempsey had been sent to the bench so many times in his times at Fulham, and he still always got his
exactly. And he's a legend there. So
yeah,
he's a legend with the US. He could have handled it better. Anyway,
wow.
Let's go.
Yeah. Anyway, you can check me out at Clay Lassol on Twitter and Instagram, and yeah, we will. The World Cup will have started the next time you hear my voice on this platform.
At Valer Shabilla.
What?
You're gonna send us off, so let me do my thing, and then you can
copy.
Steven's
We've only been doing this show for 8 years, dude.
I've been okay. Look, I've been.
That's a me and Blair thing, not a Steven me and Blair
thing.
Thrown
off, okay? Leave me alone.
At Valer Shabilla, all socials. I'm doing a lot of stuff for the World Cup. I can't even go over it right now because we're already very late on time.
At PHStevenHD on all of my stuff. And then when England doesn't make it to the round of 16, I will record this, specifically clip it, and send it both to Valer and Clay as this continues to happen. But thank you so much for listening to the show. We really appreciate it. Excited to be talking next week during the World Cup as things are happening. I'm sure we will find something to talk about during that time. But thank you so much for listening to the show. We truly do appreciate it, and we will talk to you next week.